Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm meteorologist Liam Kenny, and in today's video, I'll be giving you guys all the details on Hurricane Delta, our latest hurricane. I want to first give you guys some history on this storm. Here is the current track that it has taken. As you guys can see, it formed just as a tropical depression right south of Kingston, and then it grew into a tropical storm, and then it maintained hurricane strength all the way until it made landfall near Cancun, Mexico. As you can see, it was all south of Cuba. As it headed toward the Leeward Islands, it became a Category 3 and became a Category 4 right before it made landfall, and then was downgraded to a Category 2 hurricane when it was going over the Yucatan Peninsula, and it is still a very strong hurricane. This current graphic I'm showing you is everything that happened with the landfall. It was on October 7th, 2020 at 5:30 a.m. Central Time, and it made landfall right near Port Malolos, Mexico, as a Category 2 hurricane with maximum sustained winds of 100 miles per hour, okay? So here is the latest advisory. It is now back up to a Category 2 hurricane with maximum sustained winds of 100 miles per hour. The pressure is currently 970 millibars, and it is currently moving to the northwest at 15 miles per hour. So here is a better picture of what the enhanced satellite looks like. As you can see, right where all that pink is, right around the outer cloud walls, is where we're seeing our biggest clusters of thunderstorms. Right in there is where we are experiencing, and that's where the National Hurricane Center, is seeing those strongest winds, possibly gusting over 100 miles per hour. And this storm has definitely grown in size. It was a very small hurricane, but it was a very strong hurricane. If you guys have been watching this lately on the Weather Channel, they have been saying this storm was tiny but mighty. It was a very tiny storm, but it was also very mighty. So I guess that's how we're gonna be remembering this storm in the past. But it has definitely grown in size, and now that it is over the warm ocean waters of the Gulf of Mexico, it will continue to grow in strength and also continue to grow in size also. So here is the latest. Here's the latest track from the National Hurricane Center. As you guys all know at home, that every time the National Hurricane Center gets a new advisory, they give us new information about the track, also about the strength and everything. So this is the latest track. As you can see, they are forecasting this to grow back into a Category 3 hurricane by tomorrow morning, with maximum sustained winds of 115 miles per hour. They are showing that it will go back down to a Category 2 strength by tomorrow afternoon, with maximum sustained winds of 105 miles per hour, and then potentially witnessing a landfall sometime very early Saturday morning, either probably as a low-grade Category 2 hurricane or a high-grade Category 1 hurricane. No matter what the category is, we are still expecting to see very dangerous hurricane conditions, possibly winds gusting over 70 miles per hour with several feet of storm surge and several inches of rain, okay? So here are the current alerts. As you can see, anywhere in that purple, you are under a hurricane warning. This includes Lake Charles and Morgan City in Louisiana. Also, pretty much along the whole southern coast of Louisiana. This also includes Cameron, Louisiana, which is where Hurricane Laura made landfall a few weeks ago as a major Category 4 hurricane with maximum sustained winds of 150 miles per hour. As we go into a hurricane watch, this includes Baton Rouge, Louisiana, New Orleans, Louisiana, just east of Houston and Freeport in Texas. And I would not be shocked to see some of those areas in orange turn into hurricane watches potentially as this storm gets closer and we learn more information about it. Now, as we go into the northern parts of Louisiana and also the extreme western parts of Mississippi, we are under a tropical storm watch, which means that we are expecting to see tropical storm force conditions, potentially seeing winds gusting over 50 miles per hour with a few inches of rain. Obviously, as you go more southwest towards where the center of the storm will be going, we will obviously worse impacts with this storm. But once again, Lake Charles and Morgan City and pretty much the whole middle of the center of Louisiana is under a hurricane warning. So here are some of the current wind advisories out in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico. As you can see, we are starting to get some really high wind totals, possibly gusting in the mid-30s. As you can see, one of those buoys is estimating winds of around 29 miles per hour, gusting up to 36. Houston, you are currently blowing northwest at 9 miles per hour. In New Orleans, you are currently gusting at around 17 miles per hour. And obviously, as the storm grows closer and closer to the Louisiana shores, obviously we will definitely start to see these wind totals start to really increase. Now, here's the forecast for some areas in particular, including Lafayette, Lake Charles, New Orleans, and Beaumont. As you can see, in Lafayette, we will really start to see these winds really pick up as we go into tomorrow, around anywhere from 2 to 5. We're expecting to see anywhere winds gusting potentially over 75 miles per hour. Now, as we go down to Lake Charles, we're really going to see winds really gusting potentially over 75 miles per hour as we get into the afternoon hours of tomorrow, around 5 and 6 o'clock. Obviously, New Orleans, you are out of the track now, so I think the highest winds we'll possibly see is possibly winds gusting up to around maybe 45 to 50 miles per hour, and that'll be sometime as we get into 8 a.m. possibly tomorrow night. And then as we go into Beaumont, Texas, we will really start to see those winds go up around 50 to 60 miles per hour, obviously into tomorrow afternoon, okay? Now, here is your chance of seeing tropical storm force winds. As you can see, by Friday morning, just off the coast is when we're going to start to be seeing those tropical force winds. As you can see, pretty much the whole center of Louisiana, anywhere in that purple, you have a 90% chance of seeing tropical storm force winds. That means possibly winds gusting once again over 50 miles per hour. Now, obviously, if you're in anywhere in the yellow or orange, you have about a 30 to 60% chance of seeing those tropical storm force winds, and then if you go in the green, you have about a 10 to 20% chance of seeing those tropical storm force winds. So obviously, the closer to the center you are, the better chance you have of seeing those higher wind totals. Now, as far as storm surge goes, we are looking at very high storm surge numbers. If you look at Morgan City, just south of that in the pink, we are potentially witnessing over 11 feet of storm surge. Obviously, once we get those outer bands coming in and blowing those, and those winds blowing onshore, we could definitely start to see some really high numbers start to go up. Now, as we go towards Lake Charles, we're going to be looking at anywhere from maybe 3 to 5 to 4 to 6 feet of storm surge. And then as we go towards New Orleans, and then also pretty much right on the border of Texas and Louisiana, we're going to be looking at around 2 to 4 inches. And then back towards Port O'Connor, we're going to be looking at some numbers close to 1 to 3 feet. But obviously, if you live either near Lake Charles or Morgan City, definitely be prepared for some very high numbers of storm surge. Now, obviously, when the storm comes onshore, we will definitely start to see a lot of heavy rain bands coming in. That is where we are potentially witnessing up to maybe 8 to 9 inches of rain. Obviously, right, I think it is just southeast and northeast of Lake Charles, right in those very dark oranges. We are potentially witnessing up to around maybe 9 inches of rain. Now, as we go into that yellow part around that orange, we are going to potentially be witnessing around maybe 3 to 5. And then obviously pretty much the whole southeast region, pretty much we'll be seeing anywhere from maybe 1 to 3 inches of rain. So obviously, the closer to the center of the storm you are, pretty much the whole state of Louisiana and extreme southeast Arkansas and extreme western Mississippi, we're going to be looking at anywhere from 3 to 5 inches of rain. But this is a very dangerous storm, and no matter what the effects are, you definitely need to be prepared for the worst. A very dangerous storm currently I'm witnessing. I think this will be the 9th landfalling hurricane this season. Once again, Hurricane Delta. We are in the Greek alphabet, ladies and gentlemen. That means that we are all out of names for this season. I think this is the 27th named storm of the 2020 hurricane season, and I believe the last time hurricane season was this last active was over several hundred years ago. So, folks, we are witnessing history. Once again, Hurricane Delta, a Category 1 hurricane with maximum sustained winds of 100 miles per hour. But as we start to see this storm headed back into the middle of the Gulf of Mexico, we are potentially witnessing it to go back up to Category 3 strength, and then potentially witnessing a Category 1 or 2 landfalling hurricane sometime tomorrow afternoon. So that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys have a great day and stay safe.